Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dinks with Kinks. I am one of your wonderful hosts, John Dondera, and with me, as always, are my two beautiful co-hosts, Miss Rebecca.
Hello. Who's being a kitty right now? He's got his little cat ear headphones on.
He is such a good kitty.
He's such a good kitty.
Wow. So before we get into tonight's episode, I do want to remind everybody that we are, in fact, on that social media at Dinks with Kinks on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We've had several fans reach out to us and let us know their kinks and their opinions of kinks we've covered, and we really encourage that. So, yeah, reach out to us, talk to us, let us pick your brain. I've interviewed so many fans. It has been a ton of fun. So, we're getting into tonight. You guys ever played baseball?
I played softball.
Softball? What about you?
Yes.
What about you, Shep? Have you ever been a baseball player?
Yes. Baseball, t-ball, and also yes, it's Shep, because clearly my mannerisms distracted him from introducing me earlier too. I'm here as well.
No. I said Shep.
He introduced you. I just said hello over it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I said
She's
my
only
two
gotta be on
beautiful
top. I
co-hosts,
swear.
Miss Rebecca and Shep. I'm getting
Always-
accused of stuff. We know what position he played in baseball. It was the umpire, Colin Blind. The blind umpire.
Was that a
Calling
punch to the
shots.
gut? Was that a punch to the
Well,
gut?
let me ask you. You guys play baseball. What position did you play?
I I was a catcher and I played left field.
So what about you,
Mhm.
Mr. Shep?
Left field.
So
I'm
none
only a
of
pitcher,
y'all
not a
were
catcher.
pitchers. None of you
No.
were pitchers.
No.
You were all
No.
belly itchers.
Belly itchers.
Hmm.
You couldn't reach your belly if you were a catcher. You had all that gear on.
Well,
Really?
I just say that I took forever to get to that pun just so I can
Oh,
make the pun.
Was
'Cause
that a
tonight
pun?
we're talking about.
I like
It was.
train
It was a
wreck.
joke about belly. No, it was a train wreck because you interrupted my joke by accusing me of telling me I didn't introduce you.
Okay,
You
so what
ruined
are we
my joke.
talking about? No, okay, you're pretty. You're both
No.
pretty. What are we talking about?
No,
No, what are we talking about, Dondero?
Very
Come on, Dondero.
cute, not pretty.
we're talking about bellies tonight,
Okay.
not
Oh,
belly
bellies.
buttons. But no, the belly kink, and this is one that I have heard. Because we did the belly button kink episode, and we've
Mhm.
had people comment and post comments and stuff like that. We're like, well, outside of the little hole that's in the middle of your stomach, there is a large section that a lot of people do enjoy a whole lot. So I was like, that's not a fetish. That's not a kink. And as I tell people all the time, wrong. Absolutely is.
I feel like if it's a part of your body, there is a fetish or
There's a
kink
kink
for it.
Yeah, there's a fetish or kink for it. And believe it or not, the belly fetish is actually a monumental, culturally changing
Really?
fetish. Like
Ever
cultures
rising
have-
and falling. Yes.
cultures have been forever changed because of the belly fetish, and I want to get into some of those things tonight. So, are you guys familiar with like anything when it comes to belly? I know we're starting a new format, so we're not introducing what we're doing, and I kind of like just kind of surprising y'all like I surprised the audience on some of
Oh,
these things.
okay.
I
So
mean-
we don't get to come knowledgeable. We just have to come. Like like that's
Yeah.
it. We don't get to come sounding intelligent. Only you. Is that how this is working?
We just get to
Okay.
come.
no,
I
We
mean,
just
I'm
get to
okay
come.
with
All
this.
right. So he's
Okay.
doming us.
No
He's
one-
doming us and making us sub. Okay. All right. Cool. You know what? I'm a sub. I can make that happen. All right.
You know
I'll
what?
just show up.
No doming me. So,
Yeah.
as we all know, a lot of different South American and African tribes actually saw the wealth and the worth of somebody by the size of their belly. So yes, I could get behind the belly worship in many different ways, as well as the fetish.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just go out here right
Shepherd
now. Belly
came
dancing.
prepared.
Shepherd did come prepared.
Belly dancing. Yeah. Belly dancers are hot.
Belly dancing
Yeah.
originally originate around in India or in those general parts.
Yeah, the Middle East, I do believe. That's where it originated from, but I think it all stemmed, like, there were surrounding countries. Indian culture, probably one of the most erotic displays It's not the genitals. It's not the breast. It's the stomach. And
I mean,
yeah,
that was also the source of the Kama Sutra. So yes, I can see them being very sexual.
mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure like the Kama Sutra was written by some guy in like Brooklyn, but he just sent it to India to get it published.
Of all the places, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Really?
Oh
yeah. I've read that book. Sounds like something out of Brooklyn. But no. So we're talking bellies, and I'm not talking like flat stomachs. I'm not talking like pot bellies. I'm talking about everything in between, because every culture has a different idea and a different mentality of what the stomach means. For the longest time, I mean, we've all heard Buddha belly, but for the longest time, having a large belly was a sign of beauty and wealth, like Shep said. So he is absolutely right in there, and that for the longest time, that was considered ideal because everyone was starving to death. You had a chunky belly, you were doing good in life, or you had a tumor.
Unless you're in a cannibal tribe, then maybe you weren't doing so good.
Fun story.
Either way, someone's getting eaten.
Fun story. There have been cases where people were refused to get surgery because they would have some type of like benign tumor because it would take away from their stomach. It would, they looked pregnant. And their partner was very attracted to it. And they're like, I like how I look. I don't want, if this is not going to hurt me, I don't want it to remove. It's cosmetic surgery. I'm not having it removed. And there has been more than one case. In fact, there have been several. I've looked them up. I saw it on an episode of House, and I was like, that's ridiculous. And yeah, they got it from the internet, which got it from several incidences where exactly this happened. So, you're rocking a big belly out there, man or woman, just keep rocking it. There are people out there who really dig it.
Oh, well, where were these people when I was getting you told that I was not thin enough? Where were those people that I've got the little belly pooch? Like, where were those people?
In the Buddhist temples.
Apparently.
Not standing around you. You were just rounding yourself around the wrong people.
Apparently. I just...
I mean, skinny people get the same flack. Eat a cheeseburger.
Right.
Yeah. There's no ideal place to be where you're not going to get made fun of for something.
I just think it's just people are assholes. They just need
Yeah.
to I like bellies. I do. I like bellies. I think they're great. I don't think I would. I don't get turned on by them, but I do. I love them. I love bellies. I think bellies are fun. All shapes and sizes.
Good fluffy pillows.
All shapes and sizes. And
let's talk about dad bod right there.
Mm-hmm.
Big old belly on a man. He's a big, strong man. He's got a big belly. No, he doesn't have a big belly. He just has a big appetite. He's not any more capable of protecting you than the skinny dude. But we love him anyway because he looks cute as shit. And his little body. And he's rocking it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about some of the psychology behind that. Like, the reason we are attracted to bellies. And not just because cultural influence. Because, like I said, we had thick bellies for a long while. And that was really popular because it was a sign of wealth. And then being skinny became popular. Once everyone started having access to food on a regular basis. When, starvation wasn't the leading cause. Yeah. And bad food. Flat stomachs started becoming a thing because it showed strength and, now we needed to be warriors again. I don't know why, but apparently we had to go back to being warriors.
Who are we fighting?
Ourselves. Always.
Yeah, I
watching
just
TV.
Ourselves.
The demons in our head.
The Kardashians. We're fighting the Kardashians.
On the picture box. The demons in the picture box.
Yes.
So why else do you think somebody would be attracted to a belly that's not culturally represented to the times that we're living in?
Comfort and security.
Vulnerability?
No, not so much.
I have no idea then.
Imagine this. It is, and let me make sure I pronounce this right. Ventral to ventral contact while being nursed as an infant.
Oh.
You ever heard the phrase tummy time and laying a child on your stomach as a source of comfort?
Not comfort. I heard skin on skin for comfort. Like,
Skin
yeah,
on skin.
but yeah.
But
Skin on skin for comfort, indeed.
when you talk about rubbing one's belly against a partner's belly, or just having stomach to stomach, is a sense of, this is how I was brought up. Just like if you take a cat away from nursing too soon, they'll do that little kneading thing and they'll try to nurse on everything, and they'll just never grow out of it. Even though they don't nurse anymore, they don't. And I actually looked this up to compare it to. A lot of cats, if they nurse well, they'll do that knead thing and then they'll nurse on things well past the age of like not needing nurse. I'm talking grown cats.
So trauma.
Like pumpkin.
Not necessarily trauma. It's just it was cut off before it was cut off by them. So yeah, I guess trauma, but not necessarily bad trauma.
Separation anxiety.
Yeah.
Anxiety. So that actually plays a big part in this fetish. A lot of people who develop this fetish, especially in now times where we have a good mix of stomachs. Stomachs don't necessarily denote your cultural status.
Right. And
So
I think we're getting to a place where like we're getting more inclusive about people's looks and body shape. So I think that right now I don't think the size of the belly or whatever really matters anymore, because we have some BBWs who love wearing the cut, the crop tops when, and showing that off. And I'm like, you get it. Yeah.
What you're saying though earlier is that it's mommy's fault for denying the boobie.
No, that was just for the cat. I'm not talking about, this has nothing to do with breastfeeding. This is something to do with how, like, what I was used to comfort, because you can get this from laying on your dad's stomach. Because I used to do that with my kids when they slept. I let them lay on my stomach, and they would hear me breathe in and out, and or feel the grumble of my stomach, and it would comfort them. To this day, my kids
comforted by the grumble of your stomach.
To this day, my kids, both of them, will come and lay on top of me, stomach to stomach.
This is very similar to the nursing as well. The lactation, like that feeling of almost primal in its sense. Like it's very basic nature, and your biological response of needing that reassurance, that comfort, that safety, and whereas in breastfeeding does that, this is a more universal, like gender equal, like belly type situation where you still feel that and that need and for that belly,
You just pretty much read my next paragraph.
The
comfort. Well, no, the comfort, the nurture, everything like that. And it's not necessarily a lack of, like, I need it because I'm missing it. It could be I had so much of it and it was a great comfort to me. And in my brain, it still releases a great amount of serotonin and dopamine. Which, as I was developing into the blossoming adult that has a sex drive, I may have formed an addiction to dopamine, or not addiction, but an arousal to dopamine or serotonin, both of which are released. These are the same people who get, and I don't mean these are the same people, they also have this fetish, but the same reason we have like fetishes with like breast fetish or any type of comfort fetish, primal fetish, the same triggers. It is that connection to something that happened as a child in probably a positive way. I mean, I don't think a lot of this stuff is, trauma based. I think a lot of this is just, it was super effective then. And then as I became older and discovered myself, it's super effective now.
Right. I mean, I think it all sort of ties into your basic instinct. I think this is one of those kinks that is a basic instinct kink. And everybody, I don't want to say everybody because that's not everybody's a big generic term, but I think that most people like get that, like you said, that sexual arousal from, and just by feeling safe and comforted. And there's just that part of you. That's why sometimes sex is better when you're in love and you make that connection, and because you feel safe and you can open up and you can allow yourself. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense that like the belly would be a part of the body that brings comfort, and also with that comfort and security brings sexual arousal. Like that just
absolutely. I actually love this kink as a non-sexual way. I do. Like, I'll come up to my partners, and I've done this with several partners. Just walk up to them, pull my shirt up, and be like, "Put your shirt up," and I'll just touch bellies. It's just comforting for a second. Let's just put our bellies together, like just shirtless bellies. Press them together. You smile at each other, and you just do a little belly rub, and you walk away. It brings me great comfort. I love it. It brings me a little bit of joy.
That's adorable.
It's one of those things where it's a great way to just be intimate with somebody without like sexualizing it, without saying, "Oh, I've got to kiss you" or something like that. It's something that you wouldn't do with anyone else. There's nobody on the planet that you would put belly to belly, just walk by, belly, belly, belly rub, and just keep going.
It's quite adorable until it's not.
No, it's adorable.
It's absolutely adorable.
It depends on who's doing it. That's all. But I've had partners who have loved, like, even though because of my body dysmorphia and I'm having to work through that and all of that, so I'm very self-conscious about my belly. Like I didn't even start showing, and also my trauma, my religious trauma, like I didn't show my belly for a very long time because that was a source of sin, or I was too fat or whatever. But I had a lot of partners who would come up and they would love to like put their arms around me and just rub my belly. And I wasn't pregnant. I wasn't any of that. It was just, they love to just touch my stomach. And they're like, "I love your stomach." And I'm like, okay, well, I'm over here just gonna let you rub on my belly.
It's one of those things where it's more common than people realize.
Like,
yeah. There are people who have it as a fetish, and they're very aware it's a fetish, and it's a big fetish, and it's big to them. But more people than not have this in their head as comfort. The ventral contact is something that I think more people than not have a connection to, whether it be sexual or not. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ask y'all, this is a very fun question. What do you think the favorite sexual position of somebody with a belly fetish is?
Missionary.
You nailed it. Nailed it. Yeah, I want to see the stomach.
Well, not just see the stomach, but missionary is like you're close. Missionary is very intimate.
And it's very easy to put your stomach to stomach. It's great for stomach to stomach content.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that one. I think a secondary good one could be doggy style, because of the fact of, she was saying how, some people would just like to be close, but from behind, that way they can rub on the belly or grasping of the bellies.
Yeah.
And it really does depend on like the person, just because am I a person who likes to touch a belly, or am I like the person who has belly contact? Which is where this really differs from between like a navel fetish. And I mean, like, belly button fetish, not in the Navy.
On Rick roll that belly.
Yeah. More people with a belly fetish, as much as they love seeing a exposed belly, they connect to wanting to have contact with their belly to your belly. As well as the navel fetish is, I want to stick my finger in it, I want to lick it, I want to explore it, I want to see it. It's more, it's more visual, and then what's the word I'm looking for? Where it's intrusive, but not in a bad intrusive, but like I'm going to do things that wouldn't naturally be done.
Gotcha.
Want to touch your insides.
I like bellies. I'm like the belly to belly thing, like that. I'm not very aware of that. Like when you're close enough to have belly on belly, usually I'm hugging somebody or I'm kissing somebody or whatever. So I'm not really conscious of that, but I really absolutely love touching bellies. I do. I like touching bellies. Like putting my hand on them and like being like, yeah, like all the bellies. It's fun.
Can almost guarantee next time you hug somebody and you touch belly to belly, you're gonna think about it. It's gonna pop in your head, and you're gonna go, okay. Because I believe there's a lot of people that are just not aware of it.
Oh,
I think people who enjoy hugs,
I do enjoy hugs,
have this, and they're not aware of it.
Oh, you know what? Now I need to go experiment.
How do you like to hug somebody? Are you a front hugger?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a full hugger. Like the whole, like, full hugger. Yeah.
Because here it is. There's different types of huggers.
There are different types of huggers.
Yeah, the side hug, the
back hug,
forward hug,
the around the back,
back hug. Yeah,
the reach around hug. Yeah.
The around the around the neck, like shoulder hug thing.
The chokehold hug.
The chokehold hug. Yeah.
But yeah, next time you hug somebody and your bellies touch, you're going to feel your stomach and you're going to become super aware of it.
Okay, fair.
And then just slap somebody and say, stop that.
Oh, keep hugging me. Yeah.
Next time you're with somebody and if you're ever getting intimate with them, just tell them, out of sexual context, out of anything, just say, let's touch bellies. Let's just touch bare bellies.
I need to find somebody.
Just be wary of naval vapor lock.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Don't suck them into your belly button.
I want to touch bellies with someone.
Eat them.
That sounds like fun. You touch bellies. See, now I'm gonna want to do it. I feel like this brings me about as much like I feel that like how I'm feeling right now. I feel like this brings me just about as much joy as splashing does. Except this is something that I feel like I would enjoy participating in.
That's what I love about this fetish and kink. It is the most innocent, happy, joy-bringing kink there is.
Yeah.
Because you can't make this dark. You can't do it. I'm sure somebody could. Like, I want to wear your belly. I want to cut off your belly and wear it as mine. I'm sure somebody does because, the internet's a weird fucking place.
Okay, fair.
But this kink, as researched, is probably one of the most positive and just happy kinks in the world. It's all about comfort. It's all about security and love and nurturing. And I am 110% about that. I love kinks like that.
I do.
I love ones that you can explore next time just by giving somebody a hug and going, our bellies are touching, and now you're super aware of it. What do you do next time you hug somebody? You're giving them a hug and your belly's touch, and you instantly become aroused because you're thinking of it?
What, John, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do if, like, I hugged somebody and I was like, oh, no, like, oh, my God. Like, self-discovering things about myself.
One easy affirmation of someone who has this is if somebody hugs you, and then they start doing the little side-to-side wiggle, like some people do when they're hugging. You know that's what they're doing.
Ooh, they do the belly rub, or they initiate the belly rub?
Yeah.
Could you do is that non-consensual at that point in time? Like, okay, so we hug, and I just do a little wiggle, and you think I'm just doing an excited dance because we're hugging.
Right.
All right, from now on, you're going to be thinking, is he non-consensually rubbing my belly?
And if you think about it, you can immediately come up with somebody that always gives you a little wiggle when they hug you.
Yeah, but there's like
I'm a hug wiggler.
There's a length of hugs depending on who you're hugging and what like the context of the hug. So I mean that's not necessarily fair because like I can hug somebody and not like and just hug and let go, and then there's hug for comfort, which you are standing there, and then that makes it really awkward.
Here we go. We've got a few minutes left, and I'm done talking about bellies. Bellies are well covered.
Bellies are good. Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Appropriate length of a hug.
I'm
talking. Okay, so I'm going to ask you both. I'm going to give you guys the scenario of which to hug, and I want you to both come up with your number, like in seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
In seconds. Okay.
All right. No. I mean, like, you have to come up with how many seconds it is.
I know.
Like, how many minutes it is.
I know. I follow.
Okay. Just saw you yesterday, but it's good to see you again.
3.
30 seconds, Shep, for you?
5. Fine with me.
5.
Yeah, that quick little, hi, how you doing? 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Well, okay, counting out 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a good long time. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's a long hug. Me, I'm just a pat. That's for me personally. That's a lean in pat. That's not even a hug.
That's like a chin up. Hey, sup? That's a sup.
Chin up.
That's a sup.
You coming for a hug, and I saw you yesterday, and I saw you with your pants on, and have no intention of seeing you with your pants off at any moment in time. And you're hugging me. I'm gonna be like, what's going on? All right.
I love how the length of the hug is by position of the pants.
Oh, it is. Yes.
His pants are always riding low.
That's true.
Okay, here we go. You haven't seen him in... We haven't seen him in a year. Coming in, you're in town. Rebecca comes into town, sees both me and Shep. How long you hugging?
Big, long
hugs. Now, mind you, I've counted our hugs. Because I knew I was going to ask this question eventually. Yeah,
you really did?
Go ahead and tell me your answer. So I need to know how offended I need to be about how well you hugged me.
10 seconds? 7 to 10?
7 to 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Shep, how about for you? I haven't seen somebody in a year.
I go along for the ride, so I mean, as long as I'm feeling the grip, I'm gripping too.
Okay, so yeah, you're just playing by ear.
I'm accepting. Yeah.
You didn't hug me last time we saw each other in person. That's how I counted it.
Because you're broken.
Because I'm broken. We were at a convention.
I don't want to break you anymore.
We didn't hug.
Do we not?
Well, because we were at a convention. I don't want your convention cooties.
Yeah.
They're the real thing.
No, I hugged you.
No.
Not when I saw you, but I did hug you. Like, definitely before I left.
Was I drunk?
I mean,
Yeah, well,
Quite possibly.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
all right, here we go.
but yeah, I definitely did hug you.
Second date hug. How long? First date went good. Not great. Good.
It's 2 seconds. 2 seconds, but it's a little bit more. It's not that awkward. Like it's a little bit more close. Like, you know, you're putting more full body contact. It's not that lean in hug.
It's not the clone.
It's a crotch hug.
Hands.
It's crotch hug. If it's a second date, it's a full. It's more body contact.
You're touching hips.
Yeah.
Okay. But so shorter than the I saw you yesterday hug.
Yes.
But more contact.
Yes. Because like the I saw you yesterday hug is more of the lean in, like, hey, how you doing? Like,
yeah, it's the lean in pat.
Yeah.
I still think it's outrageous to hug somebody you saw the day before.
Oh my god, I hug everybody. I'm a hugger.
I know. You're a hugger.
I like touching people. What do you want from me?
And people like to be touched by you.
Oh, thanks.
I think I like to think I'm a hugger, but I am not a saw you yesterday hug.
Oh, I'm gonna hug everybody. Hug me.
Unless it was one of those things where if I'm interested, you'll know I'm interested in you if I hug you the next day. Like if I saw you like literally the day before and I hug you, I'm like, I'm trying to do every excuse to get that physical contact in, consensual physical contact in. Which is why I don't hug anybody the day after I see them.
Oh, I see.
I'm just like, sup.
Up, dude.
I hug Shep every day.
When you pay rent with your soft forehead kisses.
Every single day I see him, I give him a hug before I go to work.
I had a friend of mine who he purposely counted out like 20 to 25 seconds when he hugged you, but it wasn't that like he would hug you and then count it out and he had like some like tick that he needed. No, he knew that it was, and he wouldn't do a full contact hug, like a full like on like I'm gonna hold you hug. It was that awkward like half hug, half like just touching hug, and then he would just stand there because he knew it would annoy and make somebody feel uncomfortable. So that's what he used to do. He used to do the awkward hug where it's just like I can't go anywhere and he won't let me go. Yeah, I was like every time
captive hugs.
Anytime somebody tried to give me one of those, I gave him a little like hip grind.
just hip grind.
Oh yeah, if you hug me for longer than I'm comfortable being hugged, I will slowly start to dry hump you. And make uncomfortable eye contact. I've done it before and I'll do it again. I don't care who you are.
But see,
if you are holding me hostage for this hug, I am going to give you reactions you probably don't want.
Or
But
do
see,
a
if I
little
start dry
tailbone.
humping somebody, they might stay there. So I can't use that.
Okay, Rebecca, you've known me long enough. Now, when I say I'm going to dry hump somebody, do you find any arousal in that? Now, think about how I'm going to do it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not attractive. I am not saying that I don't know how to dry hump somebody. When I say I'm going to dry hug you out of this hug, now, go ahead and
Try
explain.
hug you out of this hug.
Yeah. Go ahead and just let our listeners know what that experience is going to be
Oh,
like. It's not going to be fun for anyone.
No, it won't. It won't be fun for anyone. You're just like, oh, I'm never touching you again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair.
You will learn.
You learned today.
But anyway, that's been bellies. Bellies are fantastic. Hugs are great too. And
Paper lock.
anything else we have left on hugs? 'Cause I think we covered it pretty well. I think that this week was a really good, solid thing. And of
We
course,
embraced it
we're
well.
not
Yes.
we're not doing the kink wheel anymore because I am tired of like having to like cram a shit ton of research. So I'm researching a bunch of stuff at once, and like just taking in order, starting to write stuff down, so that way I'm not like reading cliff notes as I go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be a little more prepared. I'm a busy man.
Yeah. Are you gonna clue us in on what we're doing? So, like, you mean
If you
off stream?
ask.
Okay. Why don't you just tell us off stream?
Well, ask off stream.
Or you could just tell
Yeah.
us. Oh,
Off
my
stream.
bad. Let me stop my life
Don't ask me
to
now.
ask you. Okay. All right.
I'm not going to answer on the air.
Okay.
If the audience reaches out to ask me, I'm going to answer them.
Oh, okay.
We probably already recorded it, but I'll ask them. Yeah, because
Alright.
they reached out and asked me. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And if you do want to reach out and ask us, you can follow us on social media at Dinks with Kinks at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. See, I pulled that. That was a long
Okay.
con, and y'all didn't mess it up this time, Shep.
I did not.
Long
I did not. I
hug.
knew what you were. I knew what you were. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna just lean into
You
it.
want to tickle the tailbone.
But we will be covering new kinks, and I won't be the only person doing stuff. Both the other two hosts are free to be like, I want to do this kink, and I've done research, and I want to talk about it, and we'll go, yes, I listen.
There's actually a couple that I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's a couple that we haven't talked about that I've heard about. That I'm like, I really want to get into. So I'm excited. Yay!
Well, I
Off the
want to
top of your
thank
head,
everybody.
What about off the navel of your belly?
That's a deep subject.
Yes.
Deep
Anyway.
six.
On behalf of one host, John Ondera, I want to thank Miss Rebecca and Mr. Shep.
Hello.
Mr. Shep, for joining us on this podcast. I did it twice so you knew what
Let me
happened.
Well, she didn't try to ride on top of it this time.
Well, people like
I
it
know
when I'm on
we have
top
been
of
away
it.
from we have been away from podcasting too long. You could tell because there's so much crosstalk. I mean,
There is.
overtalk.
There is.
Yeah, we got to get back in the habit of that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for listening. Reach out. We love you. May your kink always be kinkening.
No.
I'm working on a new
Your
catchphrase.
belly laughs be
No.
jolly.
All right.
E-
Well, bye.
Every week, I'm going to give you a new one.
Oh,
This week, what do you think? May your kink ever be kinkening? No?
no. No.
No.
I'll try a new one next week.
Okay, that is definitely a 2 dildos out of 5. 2 out of 5
Okay.
dildos.
All right. We got a new bit. Look at that.
Okay.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Till next time.